Robschild, no investment advice. Welcome to the show where we review the financial markets using Benjamin Graham's investment philosophy, macro technicals, and a touch of crystal ball gazing. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Not much going on today. Main thing is really just tomorrow, the unemployment report. It's really the most important thing. But today we'll start with our headline: initial jobless claims are high. Initial jobless claims. This is a weekly report. Every week we get to see what happened last week with people claiming they recently became unemployed. And as you can see in this chart, the reading was 247,000. We've only been that high 1, 2 times, 3 times for a few weeks, 4, 5 times in the last 3.5 years. Not the highest it's been, getting out of control. This is not a recessionary number for the week, but it was still notably high. Also, continued claims is released on every Thursday. These are people that are continuing to claim week after week. It's important to remember this is seasonally adjusted, but it is relevant. It is correct numbers here. In terms of their validity, I would say we ticked down only a smidgen week over week. And so if we stay up in this range or continue higher, watch out, guys. As it stands, we are very near 5-year highs. Sorry, 3.5-year highs, rather. Next headline, because it's impossible to not talk about this at this point, even though I was considering ignoring it completely. The Musk Trump drivel is what I'm going to call it. I just want to put a reminder out there that when Musk donated money to the Trump campaign, $288 million, just for, understanding how much money that is for someone as wealthy as Elon Musk, it's the equivalent of paying $680 for a millionaire, or for someone that has $100,000 worth of wealth, $68. This is not an enormous amount of money for him. All of this going on right now, in my view, not to get political or anything, but it seems extremely petty. And it doesn't really deserve all of the attention that it's getting, in my opinion, but how can you not give it some attention? Anyway, moving on to the community topics. What moves, if any, did you make today? If you caught my short video that I made in the morning, if you're subscribed, you may have gotten an alert that I had made a short video mentioning that I nibbled a little bit on UVXY calls expiring tomorrow, 6/6, strike price 23. And coming up tomorrow morning, the huge employment report. Many people, including myself, are very on the edge of our seats. Is this the straw that breaks the camel's back? Bitcoin seems to maybe believe so. We're going to take a look at that chart momentarily. We also always have continuous tariff updates. Don't forget about the tariff things going on with all of this other stuff going on. We still have that to look forward to, and federal budget updates. Thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting, and supporting. No changes to the daily reminders macro views. Read my website to read through them. It's in the description. No changes to the crystal ball ratings. One tiny change to the short term. Simply added UVXY calls that expire tomorrow. They were obscenely cheap, especially considering the potential volatility that we might see tomorrow. So I took a nibble. On to the chart, starting with SPX, S&P 500, down by 0.5%. I will say that a good amount of this probably has to do with Tesla stock dropping by, 15%, almost 20% at one point today. And a company that big can actually drag an entire index down. Just another reminder, a company that large with that much wealth in a company, perceived wealth of ownership of, I have this much money in Tesla, When a company can move 20% based on arguments between the CEO and the US president, it's trading like it's a meme stock, not some serious thing. It's because it has such an enormously high price for its valuation. For it to be equal, just for reference, to how much money other car makers make, like Ford, GM, Nissan, all of the major car companies out there, if Tesla were to drop to the same price earnings ratio as those companies, it would be dropping by something like 95%. I calculated it out pretty recently. That's why it can trade like it's a meme stock, because it is a meme stock. But I digress. As I mentioned earlier in the show, Bitcoin currently sort of crashing. You know, we at one point today were all the way up at around 106,000, now all the way down to 100,700. We have this notable head and shoulders pattern here that cracked to the downside, suggesting the target price be, I believe it's around 194, 193. Yeah. Sorry, not 194, 94,000. That's why I said, Bitcoin, I think, might be sensing that the jobs number comes out weak. We're not seeing that in other things, though. With the S&P 500 not really moving much. Also, the fear index itself, pricing of options contracts, the VIX, still notably below 20. We're still well within contango in the VIX futures curve. And it's been low for long enough that the options on VIX ETFs have been really cheap. That's why I bought my call today. Next, TLT, my favorite place to be. I brought up this head and shoulders pattern from yesterday. Very clear, very beautiful one, really. And now we're sitting above the neckline. So the neckline has indeed been broken. Ideally, for us to really know that we're going up to that target of 89.70, we want to see a close in TLT above today's wick. So we want to close around $87 perhaps tomorrow, and then after that we typically go back to the neckline, and that's where the real pros will be buying for the next leg up to around 98. Not to say that it can't just go straight up there anyway, or straight back down into this pattern. Anything can really happen, especially with this very important employment data coming out tomorrow. Similarly, the upside down of TLT, TNX, the 10-year Treasury note yield, also this head and shoulders pattern suggesting the 10-year note yield is likely to reach 4.15% in the near future. Last thing I found notable today, fear and greed index still in greed mode. That could change dramatically tomorrow, or not. Or maybe we'll go into extreme greed. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a guy with a crystal ball. That's all from me and my crystal ball. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Robschild.